What's up, guys? It's Cap. This is going to become a new form video. Basically, we're just going to talk about some sports. We're going to give some updates on what I've been doing in Madden. And what we're going to try to do is, just fill everybody in, overlook some of that stuff. As I said in my other video, I'm going to start doing some more talking. I like to talk. I enjoy to talk, so I'm going to talk about some of the stuff I like. I mean, everybody likes football, everybody likes that, but we're going to give some takes. We're going to look at that. We're going with a really basic format here, just as an intro. Just some highlights from weekend league games and head-to-head games. Some of the good, not a lot of the bad. Probably should show some of the bad to make myself look humble, but as you can see, I'm already humble enough, so, yeah. I felt good. Felt good to say I'm humble. It felt good to admit that. But I'd say the three big things I want to talk about right now is probably what I'm seeing a lot in head-to-head. What I've been noticing a lot in head-to-head. I feel like the meta with man coverage is kind of steering away. I feel like it's steering back more towards playing a lot more 3-5 concepts and running some really funky zones. There's a little period of time where I don't know if y'all noticed this, but here's a guy. This guy was running cover one contained spy, which is very fun. But what I've noticed is like a lot of guys, some guys you run into running like cover four, and they're running these really deep cover fours, and you can get around it with some cover four beaters because some cover three beaters beat cover four. Right there, they just threw a bad pick. Yeah, the guys running cover one contained. But I think what I've noticed a lot is with those zones, hitting the underneath routes, that's personally something that I need to get better at. I've noticed that. I've noticed a lot of like what I need to get better at is hitting things that I should be hitting. Boom, I hit them with the bomb there, just exploiting the cover one. So that's it, because I don't know how y'all are when y'all play games. I'm not the most experienced person. I didn't play football at a high level. I'm very self-taught on a lot of stuff. I watch Madden videos just like you guys. I watch a lot of football videos. I watch a lot of old stuff. And I learn how to read defenses from coverages, from watching that stuff. And I learned how to read defenses from like over here and stuff, and listen to podcasts and everything. But I think a lot of the language, I think we can agree, is difficult to comprehend if you don't understand it. So I try to make it really basic for me. But I've noticed with Madden, unless they're base aligned every play, I can kind of read what they're going to run. So I can usually tell if it's a cover one. If they come out in what looks to be like a cover three, but I notice it's man. There's not like cover three man in the game. It's very rare to see cover three man in the game. I think you only get it out of prevent, and I want to say or three down. It's like that, maybe dollar. You don't really get a lot of cover three man. So like if I see covers that looks like cover three, but I know they're running man, it's either going to be cover three lock or it's going to be cover one, and that's something that I feel pretty good with. But I think a lot of stuff that I've been running into is guys that just they're able to bag me with my weight, like when I try to run around or when I try to run out to get my beater, they bag me with that. Or like if they do have a man, coverage, it's just crazy. Like I don't even care if you have the best route text in the world. I feel like you just can't get through it, and that's what I've been running into a lot in the weekend league. Because right now I'm not great at weekend league, but I feel like I'm so close to hitting top 100. I feel like I'm just like I look back on it in my mind too, and I'll win like 15 to 16 games, and I'll look back on it in my mind, and I'll think, dang. There was 4 different plays throughout the weekend league that I could have won that game. Now I know that would put me going against different guys. So honestly, I might just be a 16 a week guy. That's what I might be. That's just who I am. But I look back on it and I just say, God, I wish I could have fixed that. I wish I could have made that right. I wish I could have had something that was just a little bit more. So right now, I need to improve on my offense. I need to run different stuff. I feel like my offense is kind of stagnant. It's either 3 yards in a cloud of dust, or I'm trying to bomb somebody because I see that they're in cover 3. Because it gets to the point if I see stock cover 3, unless I'm just having the worst defensive game of my life, I feel like I should be able to beat you if you aren't running contains. I feel like I should be able to beat you. I feel like if I see you go out, I got you. It's bagged. It's over. Like, I feel really good about that. So, I don't know. That's what I've been running into in Weekend League. I don't know if y'all been running into in Weekend League. I know the channel is not very popular, but, you know, if you do play Weekend League, if you do see that stuff, or if you have any suggestions, please leave some comments. Guide me the right way. I want to get good. Oh, this is a fun clip. I know this is sidetracked. I love this clip because this guy starts kneeling the ball. I remember this game. I was hating myself. His name is Fake Greens, which is worse because the 2K sweat. Ugh. And he's gonna kneel the ball, and he's gonna make an attempt at a nice little field goal. The fun part is, as you've seen in my last video, I talk about why I hate slow kicker and why I like clutch kicker. Because, as you're gonna see here, he has fat Randy Bullock, but he has slow kicker. He has focus kicker. And you're going to see why I'd much rather have clutch kicker, because boom. That is why. So, I don't know, a game like that. Also, I've been running Derrick Henry's. I feel like everybody saw Throne's video and saw Pass the Elite, Escape Artist, and said, we're going to put that on Derrick Henry. And then the game said, cool, y'all put that on Derrick Henry. Going to make sure every pass to the sideline is just not picked. Which, yeah, it's fine by me. It is what it is. You know, you patch the AP. That's it. I'm not the biggest fan of AP patches. I feel like... I don't know. I feel like I liked the game more when there was more abilities, almost. I kind of liked it because with, you know, some of the defensive things, I maybe on the faster quarterbacks you patch it, but I think on the slower quarterbacks, I think it really killed a lot of the slower quarterbacks because, you know, you just kind of have to sit in the pocket, and the way we have all the man coverages and the way we have all these crazy linemen that just get through and they shed all these better offensive linemen, I don't really think it helped that much. But hey, what do I know? That's not what I'm seeing. I still hate running against 3-5 wide. It's not really fun, especially since guys just are able to shoot in like it's no problem. But, you know, it is what it is. It is how it is. It is how it is. I've also been noticing, oh my god, I've been noticing a lot. This is a transition. In the 2K world, the 2K world has just been really fun because we're getting towards like the middle of the year, and usually 2K dies out with the fun by like April, in my opinion. But because they did the seasons thing, to me, it's really died out. Like, at least with Madden, you have Ultimate Team, and Ultimate Team kind of just... If you get addicted to it, you get addicted to it. I know a lot of people are leaving right now, but if you get addicted to certain things, like I'm addicted to solo battles. I love solo battles. I love doing it. It's what keeps me wanting to come back. I wish there was more levels of Madden. I really do. I wish there was 100 levels of Madden, because I know a lot of people that would probably be like, right now we'd be like level 75, and we would still be grinding out. And I feel like the grind, like I would be fine with a larger grind in Madden, but the problem is, I know if they add more levels, that was an annoying pass. I feel like I would enjoy having a bit more of a grind. I feel like I would enjoy, you know, doing a little bit more. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? It do what it do. I want more. I want more of something. I want more of something to look forward to, because all these solo challenges now, especially the challenges that are limited, I have no real reason to do them because the players that I get don't help. They don't have a lot of predictors in the challenges right now, so there's really no reason for someone like me, who plays primarily a lot of solo battles and a lot of hit-to-hit, to really go and play those, because I already got them done. I mean, yeah, the daily stuff is good. This is a dot. Bing! Let's go. But for me, it's just, there's not a lot of enthusiasm for me to do it. Like, there's not a lot of stuff that I want to do, so... That's the issue there. And the same with like 2K. Like 2K right now, I'm about to be a legend on 2K. Me and my friends play 2K. If you've seen the stream, we're playing a little bit of 2K. There is going to be some 2K content eventually on this channel. That's why I originally rebranded from Before in the Mutt, great name, to It's Cap. It's Cap is my normal name that I usually go by online anyway. So, and I thought It's Cap is... It's a bit more, to me, it's a bit more smoother. I like It's Cap. I just like it. I like it. But, that's what I got. There is going to be some 2K stuff. I feel like 2K, man, the interest... I already know the interest on 2K22 just isn't there because, you've seen since 2K21, the happiness that we used to have with the stream. Like at the beginning of 2K21, there's a lot of excitement, and then it was so glitchy and so bad to start. Streamers just kind of dipped. And I don't know if we're ever going to get the days of 2K20, but I really hope we get the days of 2K20 because that would be really fun. Because I know I miss like tuning into a Ticino wager. Like all the boys would tune into a Ticino wager, and it'd be really awesome. Like we'd be really excited. And the problem with that is with the leveling system, since there's going to be so many more legends. Like I don't think I would have been a legend if it was the normal legend system, especially the one for 2K21, which was ridiculous, bomb. But I don't know. I don't know about that. That's something that I think about a lot. Like I think about like, will it ever get back there? Will it ever be there? But with 2K, like I'm at level 34 with like 24 days left. I'm gonna be hitting it within the next like I don't know 10 days. I literally took like 3 days off, got on double XP rec, and then we just killed it. We played from like 8 to 3, which was not fun because I was driving all day. I was falling asleep. If y'all seen the streams, I when I play, I stand. I like to stand when I play. I like to pace. I like to move around. As you can see in my room, I got space to move, so I like to move around. You see the pull-up bar there. So I like to move. And when I'm tired and we're playing rec, if anybody's played rec, they know that once you get past like the second quarter, if it's a bad team you're playing against, you want to just pass out. You want to just get out of it. So I think that's 2K. I think the excitement with 2K is, especially once I hit Legend, I'm probably going to start trying to get some park videos, start trying to do that, get some of that on the channel. So we are going to have some 2K content. Hope you all enjoy that. Other thing that I am pretty excited for. This week, solo battles has been bad. I mentioned that in the other video. We're going to spend this week labbing. We're going to figure out the right setup. We're going to get the team down. And I think next week we're going to push. We're going to make our first push for top 3. We've gotten to 4 this year. We've gotten a couple top 5s. We were top 10. We've been top 10 consistently. This week's probably going to be a top 25. We're going to make a push for top 3. I really want to get that top 3 thing. I really want to go after Easy 5. I want to go top 1, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. That guy, wild. I don't know how he does it. Him and the specialist, those guys are cracked at it, man. I would love to talk to those guys and just see what they do. Do they play off the guy to get the pick? What type of offense do they run? I know we all kind of run the same things, but it's like, what is the extra thing they're doing to get those constant 26s against teams that I feel like I don't have a hope for? You know what I mean? I had a bad start this week. I had a bad start last week. So and I think we all get stale when we're doing something constantly because I've been top 10 for a little bit. I've been top 10 for basically the last like month and a half. So I feel like, I don't know. And it's not the end of the world. I lose 75K coins. I'm probably getting that back with predictor stuff. So it's not the worst thing in the world. I like being top 25. You get the same pack. So it's fine. But that's just something that I think I'd love to talk to those guys. Also appreciate it. Anybody that does watch the videos that came here from the solo battles thing. If you see it's Cap on the leaderboards, or if you see a lot of guys, I know with me, I don't know if the other guys, they probably don't like it, but feel free to message me and ask me for it. I'll link to the YouTube video. If you want to just talk about like what needs to be done, I love to talk about that stuff. I was originally a no money spent team. Obviously I spent money, but I was originally no money spent team, and that's how I was able to get the players that my friends who were spending a lot more on packs are getting. I was able to compete with coins, you know what I mean? Because I was willing to do that, because solo battles are very sweaty. They're very hard to do. But when you get like a mastery of them, it's very helpful for your team. Like I'm very excited for the future Maddens when they have solo battles, because I know I'll have an inherent advantage because I can walk in and maybe I don't know the game. Maybe I don't know the team. If I can walk in and be a top 50 guy right off the bat, I feel like I can do that. Even though in newer Maddens, you probably have a lot of errors and stuff like that. Also, I'd like to end the video off with a little bit of actual football talk. Championships games for this week. Hopefully y'all watched them. They were amazing. Personally, loved that Joe Burr, my boy, he's my starting quarterback. He was my boy when he's at LSU. I remember watching him that first year when his best game was basically against Texas A&M in that, 7 to 8 overtimes. The overtimes were so much against Texas A&M because it was like 74 to 72 that they changed the overtime rules and instead of like Joe Burrow was in that game. I remember getting cracked against UCF. He was never the same since for a good reason. Sometimes getting hit. It's like he got positive CTE, dude. It was crazy. But I remember I think he was like dislodged a rib. Like he had a rib issue that game. But I've watched Joe Burrow for a long time. Very supportive of Joe Burrow. It hurts me that it's not Joe Burrow going against the Dallas Cowboys. But, it's America's team. America's not doing great right now. So, you know what I mean? It goes how it is. But I'm so happy for Joe Burrow. This trait about Joe Burrow that you got to notice, and it's something about Joe Burrow that's so awesome. He does not care about adversity. He sees adversity, he just doesn't care. That's why he's Joe Burr. He's not Joe Cool, he's Joe Burr. Because he's ice cold. He doesn't care. He throws a pick, he doesn't care. They got the ball back in a huge situation. He basically throws a pick right after that. Doesn't matter to him. He knows his defense is going to get it. He trusts all of his guys. He's an incredible leader in the fact that he trusts all of his guys. He has this amazing faith in his people. And yeah, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to have problems. He threw a lot of picks this year. But Jesus, man, when the game is on the line, that kid does not care, and you almost want that. Is he as good as Patrick Mahomes right now? No. Some people are saying maybe top 5 right now. I don't know. He's at least top 10, and I love everything about him. I like how he acts. I like that he wanted to go out and get Jamar Chase. I love that about him. He's loyal. He's the perfect thing for the Bengals. I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl. If I'm rooting for a team, I'm rooting for the Bengals right now. I think everybody feels like they're rooting for the Bengals. They're a fun team. We all love Jamar. T. Higgins, stud, turning into a really good stud. He's refined his route running. He would dominate guys with his physicality in college, but now he's learned to dominate with his route running, much like Mike Williams. Now, he's a little bit smaller build than Mike Williams, but he's refined his route running really well, and that's what you want to see from those guys from Clemson, because when they refine the route running really well, they turn into like a DeAndre Hopkins-like guy, because the physical talent on the outside that Clemson gets is crazy. It's almost like anti-Alabama. Like, they want the big, freakish guys. It's like Clemson saw what Alabama had with Julio, and they said, we want all of that. And then Alabama saw what Oregon was doing and what USC was doing and said, we want the speedy guys. We want those guys. Which is fine. That's how it is. But it was an amazing game. I think anybody watched it. Joe Burrow did great. Pat Mahomes did really well in the first half. Everybody's talking about his slump there. Poor game management. I think about it all the time when I make mistakes like that. Andy Reid felt that he wanted to go for a touchdown. He wanted to be aggressive. That's fine. I think the issue is he basically called a play that was a do or die at that position. Because you kick that field goal you're kicking with Harrison Butker at the end of the game wins the game. We all know that. It's an entirely different game from Zach Taylor's standpoint when he goes into half if he's down by 14 than if he's down by 11. Completely different game. When you look at it, you say, well, 2 scores, we want to go up by 3 scores. That's fine. But it gets to a situation where you got to think as a coach or as a player, as anything. When you're making decisions, when you're playing a game, you have to think, is this decision going to make us actually better? Because if you go up by 14, it's a 2-score game, but it's an extreme 2-score game almost. It's a big, very different 2-score game. You have to go down and score 2 touchdowns. As we saw in the second half, it was very hard to score touchdowns for both teams. It wasn't like they just marched down the field with no problem. There's a reason why it was 13 to 21. They had to get field goals. They had to get that. They had to go for 2 when they got that touchdown. So they did not get 2 touchdowns. Yes, they got 14 points, but they did not get 2 touchdowns. And it's a very different mindset because it forces the other team to be in positions where they can make more mistakes. So when you take the conservative approach in a situation like that, you're forcing a team to go more aggressive. When you force a team to go aggressive, you can see that. And I think that's probably the biggest knock on Andy Reid historically is his game management is very difficult to justify because, we make fun of guys like Mike McCarthy and you make fun of guys like Zimmer and you make fun of a lot of these guys because they have poor time management. Well, the original guy we made fun of for poor time management, at least in the turn of the century, was Andy Reid. He was the ultimate missed time management guy. He wins the Super Bowl. We forget about that. Doesn't change the fact that Andy Reid's offensively one of the greatest coaches of all time. Does not change the fact. He comes from the Mike Holmgren and Bill Walsh coaching tree. He's a spectacular coach when it comes to offense. He's one of the best coaches when it comes to mentoring. But his biggest issue is his game management is one of the wackiest in football. That's something you cannot deny. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We applaud him. If he makes that, we applaud him for it. Right now, we're killing him for it. When you should have just kicked the field goal there. It's 5 seconds. You take the field goal. I get that you're right there. But sometimes you got to take that 2-score lead. That's at the extreme points. You still got a 2-score lead, but you can expand upon that 2-score lead because it makes a different game. You having the ball up by 7 puts you in a way different mindset when you're driving than when you're up by 3 or when you're up by 4. Because you feel like you have to score. You feel like you have to. Then you start overthrowing stuff. Okay, so you go really hard on first down, and you go really hard on second down, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit. Oh, what? It's 3rd down and 9? Oh, wow. Because that's what it forces you into. When you could just control with the run. Yes, they have a good run defense, but when you can just control with the run, you can go with your checkdowns. You can get back into that mode where you're just getting these 5-yard plays up and down the field. You have a guy in Pat Mahomes to do that. You have the ultimate short route runner in Travis Kelce. You have the ultimate deep route guy in Tyreek Hill. You use those short routes. I'm not lecturing a Hall of Famer, a future Hall of Famer on how to coach football. I'm just saying from that perspective, we have to look at it from that point of how different the team's feeling going into that with that bigger 2-score lead, that bigger lead. And that's just something to consider with that. And I mean, look at Joe Burrow, dude. Joe Burrow, he has some of the greatest intangibles in a young quarterback we've seen when it comes to guys that just don't care about issues. They don't care about things happening to them. They don't care about the pick. They don't care about the guy fumbling. They don't care about that. It's just on the next play, on the next play, on the next play, on the next play, on the next play. And that's something you want. And that's why they won the game. He believes in his defense. The defense believed in themselves. That defense played spectacular that second half. They had it going in to the overtime. Everybody thought, oh, it's done. Oh, it's over. The Chiefs won. The Chiefs thought it was over. They did that. And that mindset is what forces that was a heavily covered, almost double coverage throw to Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill, one of the best receivers in the league, top 5 receiver in the league. But that's also Jesse Bates, the top 10, top 5 safety in the league. So, you throw in matchups, and when he was able to knock that down, oh my God, all-time great. That's an all-time great, just heads-up play. Instead of trying to tackle him, instead of trying to throw him down, to punch the ball out. To read that situation in a split second and punch that ball out is beautiful to see. That's what you want to see from your free safeties. Oh, God. Your free and strong safeties, that's what you need to see from them. That was, especially your high safeties. You want to see that from them. That was just spectacular. And then obviously, they're calling him Shooter McPherson now. Money McPherson. Ev McPherson, that kid's a stud. He's a young kicker. He's already mental. So, he's going for whatever he wants. He's going for whatever it is. Oh, boy, that's just... that game was just spectacular. And then on to the other game. The Rams and the 49ers game was different in a lot of aspects. Great comeback at the end. Great comeback in the fourth quarter. Scored the final 13 points. Was a great showing from Matt Stafford towards the end. But I felt like it was a lot different in the sense of the Niners honestly were probably a more complete team. The Niners were probably a better team going into the third quarter. Or fourth quarter. The Niners, at most positions, with the exception of corner and defensive tackle, matched up pretty well with them. Other than, wide receiver Cooper Kupp's obviously spectacular. But going into that, you could say, well, their wide receivers core is just as good as this wide receiver core. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, OBJ. OBJ's good. Yeah, he's making catches. That's fine. But there's a lot of people that would rather have Deebo Samuel than OBJ. And in long term, a lot of guys would have Brandon Ayuk over the next 5 years than OBJ. So that's just something to consider there. Obviously, you take Cooper Kupp over everybody because Cooper Kupp is just wow. that guy is just that guy deserves MVP votes. He deserves it. They're not going to make him the MVP. Your MVP is probably either Rodgers, Brady, maybe Pat Mahomes. I don't know. For me, the MVP isn't. The MVP of the regular season is very much different. So, like, I think giving it to a guy like Rodgers is fine. I know people hate him. You know, they hate Throw Rogan. But with Rodgers, I mean, you got to give it to a guy like that who did so great in the regular season. It's the regular season MVP. The NFL MVP. It's not the NFL playoff MVP. It's the NFL MVP. So, that's how I feel in that. But that comeback was great. Stafford was able to compose himself. And that was really the difference. The difference was which quarterback composed themselves better, and Stafford composed himself better than Jimmy Garoppolo. There's not a lot of explaining going into that. When you're down 7-17, and you're watching your chance to go in the Super Bowl, they bet everything on you. You're watching it. You're gonna have a completely different amount of stress on you than when you're up 17-7, and you're gonna have a way different amount of stress on you when you start to see that lead slip away. Because then you're going to be going crazy. And then Jimmy G with his pick, man, that was tough. And that's another situation where a big difference in DB play. When you look at the DB play of the Bengals in a situation to basically end the game, they had mess ups from Eli Apple. Eli Apple could have had a pick six. Eli Apple is one of the most hated guys in the NFL when it comes to just memeing him because he's not a very good DB. He's not very good. He's not extremely good. I mean, there's a reason why he's like a fourth or third kind of guy, but he's not extremely spectacular. You know, there's a reason why he was on the Bengals at the beginning of the year, and the Bengals were considered to be one of the worst teams in football. A lot of people thought they were going to be. I personally didn't, but you know, what do I know? I didn't predict them to go to the Super Bowl. I thought they might be a playoff team. I thought they might be almost in the playoffs. I was like, yeah, they might be like a 9-18. They could be 10-7. Like I was like, oh, they're going to be a lot better than everybody thought. I didn't think they're going to be in a Super Bowl, though. Oof. I'll admit that. A lot of people are like, they're going to be Super Bowl. No. Come on. You thought that the Bengals are going to be in the Super Bowl? Let's be honest. Let's be real. Come on. It's going to be tough to say that the Bengals are actually going to be in the Super Bowl at the start of this playoffs. A lot of people thought the Raiders were going to beat them at the start of the playoffs. So to sit there and say that they're going to run through everybody, I mean, I didn't even think they would beat the Chiefs. Well, not the Chiefs. The matchup that I was afraid for the most was the Titans, because the Titans are a power run team. And the times they played power run teams, like the Browns, they got stomped. They would get killed by teams like that. They would have trouble with power run teams. And fast forward to the playoffs, they figured out how to stop power run teams. When literally a week before the playoffs, they were getting killed by the Browns. Yes, I know their starters were out, but they were getting killed by the Browns. They got hurt by the Browns before that too. So that was very interesting, which goes back to this Rams matchup is going to be very interesting too. We won't get in that just yet. But that drop by is it I know who he is, but I messed up on the names. But that drop, which is it's an easy pick, that drop by the 49ers is huge. That's when you have to make the play. As a DB, you have to set up and you have to make the play, especially to win the game, to seal the game. Sealing the game is really hard. I mean, when you just try to win the game, you're playing with house money. You're just going for it. Just trying to win the game. Just jack up some shit. The pressure is when you have to seal the game. You have to finish it. It is very difficult to do that because you know in a split second, you will be the greatest of all time or it's not get you out of time, but you're going to be one of the two goats. You're going to be the sacrificial goat or you're going to be the actual goat. You know what I mean? So that's something you have to consider there. And him dropping that, I mean, the difference in the games were very similar. Two teams that we will all agree were probably better at that moment than the other team in the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. They could not seal the game. They could not win it. They were getting in their way. We would realistically say they lost those games. They had the advantage. And now the teams that benefit from them losing the games, we have a matchup that not a lot of people were expecting, other than maybe Bengals fans that lived in Los Angeles. we have the Bengals and the Rams. It's a fun game. It's two likable quarterbacks. People like Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford used to throw weird. That was his thing. Matthew Stafford's one of the great mic'd up guys. He's always fun to watch. Matthew Stafford hit a fake spike QB sneak against Dallas Cowboys. I think it was on Thanksgiving Day. I don't really want to talk about that one either. That one hurts. But Matthew Stafford's a likable guy. Fun guy. One of the greatest, supposedly the greatest Texas high school quarterback they ever seen. I think he went to school with Clayton Kershaw, too. Which that's really interesting. Or he knew Clayton Kershaw. They grew up together. But yeah, that great matchup. And then you have Joe Burr. What can I say? True American hero. Joe Burr. We forgot the row, but, you know, that's how it is. He's great. He's great. He's Joe Burr. He's got Jamar. Joe and Jamar. I like it. You know what I mean? It's great. It's amazing. Oh, boy. I am very excited for that Super Bowl. I don't want to make a prediction because I don't like being Tate, but I think if I had to make a prediction, here's what my mind says. My mind says a 7-point win by the Rams because Aaron Donald's a factor. That line for the Bengals is very shabby. And unlike the Raiders and the Chiefs, the Rams have a solidified running game. Even the Titans had injured guys on their running game. So this is going to be the first solidified running game. Cam Akers is back and healthy. Sony Michel, some people Sony Michael, is healthy. He's doing good. He's also a power back too. Has experience in a Super Bowl. Against the Rams. Even crazier, against the Rams. But I think that's gonna be it. I think it's gonna be like a 7. My mind says 7-point win by the Rams. That's what my mind says. But my heart wants a last 2-minute drill. I want Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase to hook up for like 3 or 4 receptions, go down the field. I want Joe Mixon to run the ball up the middle for like 5 yards, place it at the spot, and then I want the game to come down to a game-winning field goal. Bengals win by 1 point. McPherson puts it in. I want to hear a quote where McPherson's walking up to like Brandon Allen or whoever the holder is, or the backup quarterback, and I want Brandon Allen to be like, oh, we're going to win the Super Bowl. Just like he said to go in the AFC Championship game. That's what I want. God, I want that. I want that so badly. God, that'd be so great. That'd be great. It'd be a great thing. Joe Burrow is going to be a future Hall of Famer now because he won the Super Bowl. Jamar Chase is arguably the greatest rookie wide receiver to ever exist. God, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Also, this draft class, by the way, at least skill position-wise, is going to be ranking really high in the all-time list. When you got guys, oh my God, in the top 15 picks, Micah Parsons, Surtain. We don't even know what Horn's going to be, but Horn's going to be great. Sewell is actually a stud. The only problem is that Detroit Lions team just were in the wackiest games ever, and Jamar is he's Jamar, and we still don't know what Trevor's going to do. And we see McCorkle, and McCorkle's okay, and we don't know what Justin's going to do. So it's a very fun situation. It's going to be very fun. Zach Wilson actually might be a decent quarterback for the Jets. Oh, that's going to backfire in 3 years. But still, it's a fun draft. It's a fun draft at the top end. Devontae Smith's solid. We don't even know what Devontae Smith can be. We know Waddle's fun. We know Waddle's really good. We like Waddle. He's our favorite penguin-themed wide receiver. God, he has to do something with penguins for his brand, right? That's named Waddle. Like, he does the Waddle, you know what I mean? This is great. You want that. But that's what I want. I want Evan McPherson to kick a game-winning field goal, and I want the Bengals to win the Super Bowl, and I want something good for Ohio to happen that's not in Cleveland for once. That would be amazing. Will it happen? We don't know. But that is what we want to happen. But I'm going to say at the end of this video, more of a free-form style. I'm probably going to start doing these more. It's probably like my form, like a podcast or something. I just like to talk. That's about it. Remember to like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I hope you come back to watch more. Who day? Hopefully they